if you come to Peru, you will get one of these blankets as well. They are the best. So,
yeah, we just started recording. So as we were just saying, these are our blankets instead of our hats. These are our Peru blankets that you can easily get in PSAC if you were to get there. Come there with us. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
And if you are joining, if you can mute on your end, we'll open the lineup at the end of the presentation so that you can ask questions. But if you can mute, we don't have access to mute you. So that would be super helpful for us from our end. And as questions come in, feel free to put them into the chat box. And we can, depending, we'll try to answer them in the moment, or otherwise we'll also answer them at the end as we get started. So, all right. Well, welcome. We're super excited to be talking about don't do that. Okay, sorry, we're figuring out
glitch.
technical things here. Anyways, we're really excited to just be talking to you more about this trip, about this incredible experience that we're going to be having this July. So, I'm going to move through it. A little bit about just tonight is we're going to talk about who are Johnny and I. Many of you are familiar with us. There's some of you who are joining who maybe know one of us and not the other, or have never met either of us before. So we'll talk about us. We're going to talk about Peru and the Sacred Valley and why it's so incredible. And we'll be giving an overview of a tentative itinerary of the trip, talking about some pricing, deposits, logistics, and then some questions. So who are we? Who are Elsie and Johnny? Well, we both, first and foremost, are avid travelers. We love to travel. We love to experience other countries, other cultures, even so much so that we got married in Belize a little over a year ago. We also are both life coaches and graduates of the University of Santa Monica with masters in spiritual psychology. And we're really excited to bring both of these worlds together, to bring the world of travel together along with the world of personal development. And we decided to choose Peru for our first trip of this context because Johnny used to live there for 3.5 years, and we've led many, many groups to Peru before, of students and volunteers, young professionals, and we are just so in love with this country that we decided to pair it with this coaching aspect and this personal development aspect to bring this to you because it's such an incredible country. Anything else you want to add on that?
No, just that, well, we'll talk about Peru in a second, but it is one of those countries that is near and dear to our hearts and that we just love so much, and we know that if you were to join us on this trip that you would fall in love with it as well because it just has that special magic, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But, you know, just in case you're not that familiar with Peru, so you know it is Spanish-speaking. Also, it has a large population of Quechua speakers, which is sort of the ancient language of the Incans, and it has, I think it's the largest population of native Quechua speakers in the world, and it's also an incredibly diverse country in terms of biodiversity and its ecosystems. It's got just about everything. You can go surfing, you can, you know, canoe down the river in the jungle and climb some of the highest peaks in the Andes, as well as go dune buggying on sand dunes and sand dune surfing, if you will. There's lots of it's just an incredible country. So our program is July 15th to the 23rd, and as it's in South America, that is the winter season. So our summer is their winter. So you can expect it to be a little bit chillier on the chilly side, but it is dry season, so it's not going to be snowing or anything like that. It'll just be chillier than the location that you probably left to come join us. So, not like crazy freezing, 40s, 50s, highs in the 60s, 70s when the sun is out, but certainly you'll be wearing sweaters and purchasing some really awesome alpaca Peruvian sweaters when you're there.
And blankets.
And blankets.
And blankets. but I want to tap on that. I think in the day when the sun is out, typically I would be in, a t-shirt. And it's warm. It's because you're at such high altitude that the sun is so warm. But then when you move into the shade, it's like you're wanting to put your sweatshirt on again. I think it's the perfect weather there, especially when we're being active and hiking around. It's really quite comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. And it'll vary based on the locations we go to. Like it'll be warmer in Machu Picchu and a little bit cooler in Cusco. Mm-hmm. And then, just a little bit about the money. It's the Nuevo Sol. $1 currently is three soles and 28 centavos. So
it's a decent exchange rate.
It's a decent exchange rate. Things tend to be relatively inexpensive there, especially food. But, the tourism industry is quite huge, as you can imagine, with Machu Picchu being one of the 7 wonders of the world. So they've certainly gotten hip to that. And some things have raised their prices, like the crafts and things like that, but you can find plenty of bargains. Now, with regards to the Sacred Valley, it is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life, and most special and magical energies that I've ever experienced in a location. I mean, just looking at that picture, I took that picture from near where we're going to be staying. Actually, right above Pisac is pretty much where that picture was taken. And when the sun goes down on most days, that's really what it looks like. And it just has this incredible energy there. And it's just so beautiful. The Incans called Cusco and the Sacred Valley the Ombligo del Mundo, the belly button, the navel of the world. They believe that the world was born here in this location, and as a result, they revered the land here, which is why they named it the Sacred Valley. And when you're there, you'll understand it. It really makes sense why they call it that. So it is also the gateway to Machu Picchu. At one end of the Sacred Valley is a town called Ollantaytambo, which is where you catch the train to Aguascalientes, which is at the base of Machu Picchu, and everything in between. So we'll be on one end for a good portion of the trip in a town called Pisac, and Ollantaytambo is on the other end. And then another really cool thing about Peru, in this area in particular, is the ancient Incan culture is still very much alive. They've done a really good job of keeping a lot of that tradition very alive and present, and so it's this beautiful mixture of ancient culture and new culture, I guess, new 21st century culture, if you will. And you can walk down the streets in Cusco and see cars and then people in traditional dress walking around with llamas. So there really is a really cool mixture of cultures and times even. So it's just a really beautiful, crazy, awesome place, and I know anybody that goes there is going to love it.
It's true. It's true. I have a friend there right now, and it's rainy season. It's been raining every day, and she's still in love with it and in awe. And it doesn't even matter if the sun's shining or not. It's still incredible.
I mean, look at that place. Come on.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, so this is the tentative itinerary. We're going to go through each day in more detail in a second. But it will, the arrival date is Saturday, July 15th, with departure on Sunday, July 23rd. So we're going to move to the next slide, and we'll start going through each day.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, this is tentative, but the general structure of it, with the first half from Saturday to Wednesday, we will be in the Pisac area, and which is in the Sacred Valley, and then we'll move to Machu Picchu, and then the remaining couple of days will be in Cusco.
All right. So Saturday, July 15th, you will be arriving to the Cusco airport. And when you first fly into Peru, you're going to fly to Lima and then take a flight into Cusco. Flights into Cusco only go during the day. I want to say the last one's around 4:30. They don't fly at night into Cusco because of the mountains and everything. It's just safer to only do it during daylight. So you'll need to make sure that you arrive to Cusco by then, and we'll help you with flights and everything if you decide to come. You don't have to try to figure that out on your own. We'll support you in that for sure. And then one of us will be meeting you at the airport and traveling to Pisac. It's about an hour to Pisac. Super gorgeous ride if you do it during the day. It's breathtaking. And you'll arrive at Pisac and just really settle in. It's going to be a super easy day, allowing you to adjust to the altitude. We'll be drinking some, coca tea and just really spending some time around the grounds and adjusting and resting after a long trip to Peru. So here are some of the pictures of Paz-y-Luz, which is where we're going to be staying. It's really gorgeous. It's nestled, right in the middle of these mountains. Really beautiful grounds, nice rooms. This circle glass area there, it's called the Maloca, and that is where we will be doing some group coaching. I'm just so excited to have all of you in that room, and just it's totally glass for those of you who are on the calling in on the phone. It's these beautiful circle buildings with all these glass walls where, anywhere you look, it's completely gorgeous. And we'll be doing a lot of some of our processing and reflecting and connecting as a group in that space, as well as other places throughout the valley, but that will be one of our main meeting places. And one thing we want to, just let people know about Paz-y-Luz is it's an average accommodations. This isn't luxury accommodations. We're not running a luxury trip. But by all means, it's a really nice place, and we think that you'll all just fall in love with it, just strictly based on how beautiful it is, how great the staff there is, and everything that's involved. So we're really excited to have you all there. And then on Sunday, that's going to be our first full day. We're going to do a morning of group orientation, getting to know everyone, talking about some health and safety issues. We want to make sure that everyone stays really healthy and safe on the trip. And then we're going to go ziplining as a group, and we're going to do a zipline, over the valley. Really, it's going to be really incredible. And part of why we're doing this is to use it as some group coaching opportunities as well, to see what happened. Did some fears come up? Were you, afraid of different things? What occurred as you were going through this? And we'll be using all of that as part of this jumping off point for this, and doing some reflection and processing. And I don't want to give too much away, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But it's going to be a really fun start to the week.
So then on Monday, there's this really cool place called Morai. It's you can call it a ruin, essentially. I guess it is, but it's sort of a non-traditional ruin. There's a lot of speculation about what it is, but they basically determined that it's an agricultural terraces, a testing ground for agriculture. and between the top of the terraces there to the bottom, it can vary up to like 15 or 20 degrees. And so it's a very beautiful place. There's a lot of great energy there, and it's just a very cool, funky ruin to go to. That's not your typical ruin. And we'll spend some time there exploring, as well as doing some processing and just tapping in to your experience.
Yeah, I have this beautiful vision of us sitting on these terraces and doing some group work and some coaching work, and I'm just so excited. I'm like, holy smokes, what an incredible place to do that at. So I'm excited for this day.
Absolutely. And near there, and we don't have a picture of it here, but there are these salt mines that the Incans used really close to Moray, and they're called salineras. And we're going to go and tour that place because it's just this really wild. There's about 3,000 different salt pools with water that comes out of the mountain. It's salty, and they filter it into these pools and then let the sun take, what do you call it? Like dehydrate the salt and let it crust, and then they harvest the salt and sell their salt around the world. And it's just this really cool experience to walk around there and realize that these have been there for hundreds, if not thousands of years, being used by the local population. And it's just a really cool place. And then from there, we will return to Pisac and relax and hang out, and then do some more processing and
an evening reflection.
And dinner and all that stuff. So.
All right. So then on Tuesday, this is going to be a super fun day. We're going to explore Pisac, which is the town that we're staying in. And we're going to go to the Pisac market, which is absolutely incredible. This picture that I have here is of me in front of some of the rugs that are there, and my sign says, "This beats my desk job," because at the time I was working a desk job, and one of my favorite things was being able to take pictures with signs that say, "This beats my desk job," in super epic places, and the Pisac market is definitely one of those. You want to leave extra room in your suitcase to buy just all of the incredible handicrafts that are made there.
It's hard to leave the Pisac market without buying something.
Oh, for sure. Many things.
Yeah, many things. Mm-hmm. And what's cool about it is it's this market that has grown significantly over the past many years, and people come literally from all over the Cusco region, and sometimes outside of the Cusco region, from the high Andean small communities and beyond, and bring all their handicrafts and weavings and just beautiful artwork and all sorts of really cool stuff. And it's a vegetable market and all that as well. And it's a really, really funky, cool, cultural, explosive, like sensory explosive environment. And it's just, yeah, these blankets that we're wearing, I don't know if you can see the video right now, but are from that market.
Yeah, true. And then we're also going to have some time to hike the ruins that are there, which we're staying pretty much right in front of. So that'll be fun. And just kind of a heads up, some of the hiking isn't extremely tough, but you may want to, get in a little bit of shape because we'll be walking at altitude. And so if there's any, hills or mountains or whatever that you can be climbing a little bit just to kind of get your body ready, it will make it easier for some of these things. Once again, it's not totally extreme by any means, but it does help to be in some decent shape.
And just to give you an idea, so the Sacred Valley is the altitude is about 9,700 feet above sea level. And Cusco is about 10,500 or thereabouts, and Machu Picchu is a bit lower than that. I think it's in the 7,000s. Mm-hmm. But walking around at 9,500, 700 feet is it's certainly going to leave you breathless at times. So again, we're not going to be doing any hiking that is particularly strenuous or very difficult, but just walking up and down stairs can sometimes leave you breathless at that altitude. So just to keep that in mind as you're thinking about the trip.
Yep.
Yeah. So on Wednesday, our plan is, and this is going to, I'm really excited about this. So when I used to live in Urubamba, which is a little town in the Sacred Valley, about 45 minutes away from Pisac, one of the projects that we were working on, because it was a service-based volunteer organization that we were working with, and our volunteers would work on a project on a town right next door in Chichuamba, and they worked with the local community to create what's called agro-tourism, and various houses in the community participated in this, and different houses were specialized in different types of activities. So some are ceramic makers, some are honey makers, like the I forget the term. I want to say apiary, but I don't know if that's correct. Some make chocolate, some make chicha, which is a local corn-based beer brew, if you will, and some make jewelry and other things like that. So it's this really cool, fun immersion into the local culture and the inner workings of a town a little bit more, or a village, I should say, more than the average tourist would have an opportunity to see. So I'm really excited about this. It's certainly a special day because not a lot of people get to do this kind of thing, and it's certainly off the beaten path. And there's just a lot of really cool things that we get to do. So that's the main focus of that day, and we're really excited about it. So Thursday, we will leave Pisac and make our way over to Aguascalientes, which is, as I mentioned, at the foot of Machu Picchu. So we'll travel to Ollantaytambo and hopefully spend some time in Ollantaytambo. I don't know if we'll have time to hike around the ruins there, but at a minimum, you'll still get to see them. And we'll take the train to Aguascalientes. The train's about 2.5 hours roughly. And we go from Ollanta to Aguascalientes. We will check into our hotel and hang out in the evening in Aguascalientes. It's a very, very small town. There's not much to do there, so that's a good thing because we have to get to sleep early because we're waking up super, super early the following morning, probably about 4 a.m.
No, 4 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see.
No, that is the time we're waking up.
Okay.
Because we have to take a bus up to Machu Picchu to be some of the first there so that we can watch the sunrise over Machu Picchu. And
it's going to be super incredible.
Incredible. It is as popular of a place as Machu Picchu is. It is incredibly, it lives up to its expectations.
So part of the reason that we're going to wake up and watch the sunrise, I kind of feel like Donnie just flew through that, but I want to slow down and talk about that because it's so incredible to watch the sun come up over this ancient city. And for me, it's been one of the most sacred experiences of my life that literally left me speechless for about 10 minutes. You can feel the energy there. It's really, it's like I can't even explain it too much, but you just have to experience it. And it's just, yeah, I don't even have words, but we're very excited. We're going to explore the ruins. Most likely we'll be hiking up to Huayna Picchu. So if you look at this picture here, you see like the ruins in the city, and then you see this big peak of that nose of that mountain that's there. And it's an incredible hike. It's a little bit difficult, but not too bad. I mean, tons and tons of people have done it. And then you get this incredible view from way up there of Machu Picchu below, and that's really fun. We'll probably be doing some group processing here as well, and it's a big day. It's a full day at Machu Picchu, and then we'll take the train from Machu Picchu into the city of Cusco, and we're going to spend the night in Cusco that night. And then the next day is really pretty much a free day for most of it to explore Cusco, to go into the churches, to go into the shops, to just be around town, and it's really fun to explore. There's a lot to do in the city. If you want to do more ruins, if you're not ruined out yet, there is opportunities for ruins there as well. And then at the end of the day, we'll do a final group dinner, final reflection, all coming together, and that will be a really special evening that we'll spend together. And then the next day is bon voyage, and you're going to either fly home or continue to stay in Peru if you want, but that will be the last day of our trip, so you can book flights to fly out on July 23rd, and that's Sunday.
All right. So, with regards to the trip and the program cost is $29.87 per person, and basically that includes pretty much everything except for the international flight. Basically, get yourself to Cusco, and then everything from there is taken care of. All hotels, all meals, minus a couple. As you saw, there's a couple moments of free time, so you'll have an opportunity to get some meals on your own. Which we found people really enjoy that. When you're with a group the whole time, they like to have some time to themselves or the person that they came with or whatever. And all transportation in and around Cusco and the Sacred Valley, all excursions, entrance fees, any activities that we do, all the group sessions and any one-on-one sessions that we do. So really that's an all-inclusive price, if you will. And we're more than happy to work with you if you can't pay it all up front, and please contact us and talk to us about that. We'd be happy to talk to you about that. And then
I just want to say one thing for me about travel is that it's always been one of the most incredible investments that I've made outside of my education. And I that piece of you go back one slide, it says collect moments, not things. And I think for me, travel has made me so much richer just because of the experiences that we've had, how it's changed who I am. And one thing that I also want to say about this is that if you have a really clear intention of, I want to do this, I want to go, the price, I'm not sure about it, and you hold that intention of, I'm going to figure out the way to create the money for this, you'd be amazed at how abundance can come forward when you have a clear intention for something that you want to do. It's also, if you have that clear intention, you're not quite sure how to create the funds, contact me and Donnie. We are very resourceful in figuring out ways to make money, to create money, to hold intentions, to bring in abundance. So I just really encourage you, the life coach in me encourages you to, if you're feeling called to hold the vision, that you will be able to do this and create the money and pay for this trip. So the logistics of that is the deposit is a $500 non-refundable deposit that we're asking for by April 15th. This is so that we can continue to reserve some of the, just other things that we need to reserve and really to hold your space. There's only 13 spaces available, and we've been getting a lot of interest for the trip, so it also just really reserves your space and puts your intention out there of, all right, I'm in, I'm doing this. So that's one piece. International flights, depending where you're flying from, can cost anywhere around $1,000 to $1,500. I've got them for less than that. I've got them for around $700 before. Once again, you're going to want to book from wherever your international destination is to Lima. And then sometimes there are cheaper flights from Lima to Cusco. Not always. Sometimes it's going to be cheaper to fly from, I don't know, let's say Minneapolis to Cusco than it is from Minneapolis to Lima, and finding other flights. But as you're starting to look into it, let us know, and we can help you. Once you put down that deposit, we can help, support you in finding flights. We're pretty resourceful in that as well. And just another thing that I want to throw out is I know a lot of you have airline miles, credit card miles. Most major airlines fly to Lima. So it's a great way to use those miles as well for a big international flight like this.
And just a point of clarity or clarification, even if you were to search for a ticket from wherever you're coming direct to Cusco, you will always be passing through Lima.
Sure.
So just to be aware, there are no direct flights to Cusco.
Yep. Thank you. So, I mean, that's really all we have right now. Just the last thing that I'd want to say is that if you are interested in this, we still do want to have a conversation with you just to make sure that you're fit for the trip, that, there's accurate expectations and everything in that way. So either one of us, we've been chatting with lots of different people lately, and you can reach out to either one of us or go to the website turninglifegold.com/Peru and fill out the form there, and we'll contact you to set up a time to talk. But other than that, does anyone have any questions? And if you do, feel free to unmute or type it in the chat box, and we're happy to answer any questions that you may have or may have come up. All right. Well, it doesn't seem that there's any questions. If things come up, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are in question answering mode right now, so we're super happy to support you in that. And if you are clear that, yes, I want to do this and feel super called, I'm in, give us a call, send us an email, we'll set up a time to chat, and we'll, get your deposit and reserve your space in the trip. So that's all I got.
Yeah, I think that's it. Just wanting to really extend the invitation. It's really going to be an amazing trip. It feels really aligned for us. It feels like a really fun time for us to be doing this, and we really want to share it with you. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for your interest, and we look forward to talking to you about the trip and hopefully having you come join us in July.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good night,
everybody.